Talk to me with Adedoja Allen.
Remember, in the multitude of counsel, the real safety.
All right, so today's episode is going to be an amazing one. Amazing one. And that is because I have a very special guest with me here in the studio. A guest that is very dear to my heart. Okay, so join me as I welcome my very own husband mine, my Ololufe, Mr. Akinsola. He calls himself Akinsola. He's Akinsola, you know. But when my husband wants to be very janded, then he'll say Akinsola. So let me pronounce it the way he will. Akinsola Allen. Mr. Allen is a realtor, a forex trader, and an entrepreneur. Shola started his career in the UK and worked as an estate agent and moved to moved to work for the second largest housing association in the UK called Metropolitan Housing Trust with over 20 years experience. Then we relocated back to Nigeria in 2007 and he set up his own practice. Hey, hubby, how are you today?
Hi, Dean. How
People have been laughing at us. That we're here to play love. And I said, the topic is not about love. Okay, so how are you doing today?
Great, thanks.
Anyway, we drove to the station together. Let me be looking at your face. We drove to the station together, so I'm sure that we've had quite a beautiful day together. Mm-hmm. All right, so tonight you'll be wondering why Mr. Allen is my guest. And the reason is for the topic is career and marriage. We want to be able tonight to talk about how we both have coped in our marriage amidst our busy careers. I have a very busy career. He also has a very busy career. He is a realtor and he combines it with forex trading. And that means that anyway, I'll let him say, but well, let me try. That means that if he has to trade, he needs to be up in the night. He needs to be awake to be able to trade, you know, with the U.S. market and all of those things. So we'll talk about how we sort of manage this between ourselves and, you know, on the home front. Okay, so let's get into it very quickly because there'll be a lot to discuss. Many people will probably or most likely be encouraged by both Shola and I's story tonight. So, of course, there's no denial that both career and family are important parts of life. However, many working couples find it very difficult to find that right balance between their work and marriage. This difficulty in turn leads to frustrations and problems in the marriage, especially because it is nearly impossible to pay attention to both your career and marriage, okay? But in the midst of this, the one big mistake that couples make is that they are overly particular about their career, and then they do not pay attention to their marriage until it begins to fall apart. I won't deceive you. It can be really challenging to balance the work, the demands of your career, or the demands of your job, or the demands of your work, while maintaining a healthy and happy marriage. Isn't it, Shola?
Absolutely.
It's a serious work, but the good news is that even though it can be a lot of work, as a living testimony, myself and my husband can tell you that it is possible to balance your career and marriage. And that's why we are here. That's why I'm happy to have my husband on tonight's show as we'll be discussing and sharing with you, my listener, a few suggestions to help you and your spouse create a healthier relationship that exists in harmony with your career rather than putting you against one another or filling your heads with the notion that your partner does not want the best for you. This strategy has helped us and we hope that it helps you too. So as you know, I am the MD, CEO of City 1051 FM. So that means that I carry the load and the weight of the station. That means that I drive the station, and I'm sure that you can imagine how busy I can be or I get. So sometimes it means or entails me having to get home very late, like today now. You say my husband is, it's because my husband is with me, but the days that he's not with me on the show, that means sometimes I get home, like on a Thursday, I will have to get home at about 10:30. Other days I get home, it depends. Some days I work from home. Sometimes I have to travel out of town, out of the country for work. So, different things. Sometimes I have to sit in traffic, quite a lot of challenge. But I can tell you that we have that connection, we have that understanding. My husband is my number one strong supporter. We have a very strong support system, and we have put a very strong support system in our home front as well. We have nannies, we have cooks, so we have a nanny, we have a cook who are matured enough to look after the kids, and we have that sort of arrangement and understanding that has worked for us. So I'll let Shola tell you what he does and how busy he can get on a day-to-day basis, and then we connect this and encourage someone out there. Okay, Mr. Allen, over to you. Tell us.
Thank you. My sweetheart, my honey boo. Thank you very much. Anyway, like you rightly said, in my career also I can be extremely busy. It depends. Even though, I work for myself, but at times, you can have a lot of workloads. At times I can also be out there quite late. It depends on the schedule of work and the kind of work or kind of assignments that I have on a particular day. In terms of forex, for example, I have to be up at 2 a.m. in the morning, to be able to trade the U.S. market, or sometimes the Asian market rather. I have to be up at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then I'll probably lead on to the London session. But sometimes once I wake up at 2 a.m., I don't sleep again till night. So you can imagine, short amounts of rest and then long hours being awake. And having said that, I also couple that with my real estate career as well. That's my bread and butter, if you like. But, I've been doing that for pretty much over 20 years. So, I'm of the opinion that, you ought to have streams of income, and it sort of helps the family as well. When you're not just depending on one income, you have diverse income streams. It sort of helps you, so you're not sort of just relying on one income. And in terms of the home front, my wife, she has to always be in the office. Like I said, I work for myself, but sometimes she has to be here, for quite late. And I have to be there, to take care of the home front. We have that agreement. So sometimes, most times I do school runs, pick up the kids from school, even though now we have some arrangement with...
we have a school bus.
But the times before the school bus, I had to, sort of pick them up at school, take them to school and all that. Even now, even though we have the school bus, there are times whereby, our eldest son might have to stay back, and then I still have to go and pick him up. So we have that good balance between each other. So, there's no strain in the relationship in terms of that, whereby, you go and pick him up. No, none of that. So we have that very good relationship and agreement in terms of what we do to have that home front and balance. Okay.
Yeah, we have that understanding. Now, to join the conversation, the phone lines are 070010511051, but we're not opening the phone lines just yet. Just so hang in there. So I've gotten my husband to tell you what he does and how busy he can get. Now the question is, do we have our challenges? And the answer is yes. Okay, capital yes. So at the start of my career here in City, I realized that it took a lot. It took its toll on me, especially when I tried to stabilize the station. It entailed me having to travel a lot. And like he told you about his career as well. So at some point, we had to sit down and agree on how we would, because we saw that it was really affecting the home front, our relationship, our closeness. Because, we used to live in the UK. We got married in the UK, and so we started to work in the UK. Basically the normal routine in the UK is a 9 to 5. He goes to work, I go to work in the UK as well, 9 to 5, and by 5:30, you can tell, oh, you should be home by 5:30. Oh, Doja should be home by 5:45 or whatever. So there's that plan. And so at 6 o'clock max, we're at home. And, we can go to the mall, we can play, we have all the time, evening, and then we go to bed. But in Nigeria, it's a whole new, different ball game. So because we're coming from that sort of environment, we realized that it was affecting us. And so we sat together and we agreed that, okay, Shola, you're very busy. We have to support, especially me. I was feeling a bit lonely when he started the Forex thing, because I know my husband can be very deep into whatever he's doing. So I started to feel like, oh, you're always up at 2 a.m. What time do we have to spend together? We used to cuddle and do all these things together. What's going on? And then he said, okay, all right, okay, hold on. You're busy, I'm busy. So we decided to create time specially. We won't tell you the days, but we agreed between ourselves that on so and so day, isn't it?
Yeah. Have a date.
So we will have that date and, get into each other, play from morning till night, eat, drink, take ice cream, do everything that we want to do, that lovers will do, husband and wife will do. And then we keep it moving again after that. So it's an intentional and deliberate thing that we both have decided to do. And we encourage and implore couples that are, that have busy careers, because your career is important, your marriage is important, but your career too is important. A good career is good for a husband and it's good for a wife, but you need to balance it. So the first thing, just to share, some of the things that we do, is we set our priorities right, like I told you. But the first thing that we do in our own marriage and in our own home is to put God first. This is the most important thing. The God factor is our priority. Then we put the family next, and then our career, our children, our career, and all of those. At least the Bible says that when we commit our work to the Lord, then our plans will be established. So in all honesty, if you do not put God first, both your family and your career will be gravely affected. You want to place God above every other thing, isn't it, Shola?
Oh, yes, definitely. First thing in the morning, we have to, call on God to help us. It's the first thing we do every morning, without fail. We don't even get a nudge. It's just, that's it. It's a routine, it goes without saying, sometimes we have to get into the kids' room, also pray with them as well before they go to school, before we get into the chores of the day, before we get into our businesses, our careers. That's the first thing we do. We just reverence God on a daily basis before we get into the swing of things. And it's very important. I really, indulge or encourage people to do this. It's quite important because, without God, none of us here would exist. So, it's something we have to reverence Him at all times. And, before we get into anything. I often hear is a lot of people, the first thing they do when they wake up is pick up their phones.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Really.
I say we don't do that.
No,
it's
we don't.
Just
It's
not that
first
for
thing
us.
to do is to reverence God, not to pick up your phones. That's absolutely wrong. It's like you're idolizing the phone.
Yeah.
So the
Unknown
first thing
to
you
you.
need to do is to, speak to your maker. Very important.
Yeah, and talking about the kids, we're very intentional about that as well. Shola is the one that goes to their room and wakes them up. Well, sometimes, I think very rarely I do, to be honest. So he's the priest of the family. So he goes and wakes them up. Okay, guys, we have boys, by the way, 3 boys, 15, 11, and 3. Don't ask us why, the gaps. So for the 15 and the 11-year-old, he goes and he wakes them up and he prays with them. And so we have that routine. And so sometimes I'm probably still sleeping. Maybe I've gone back to bed, or I'm awake. I just go and get their food ready, get their things ready, that sort of thing. So we're just trying to buttress the fact that there's an understanding, between us. I'm sure that if my job entailed that I had to leave work or leave home at 6 a.m., like I was going to the island, maybe I was working for a bank, my husband will still do the same. That understanding and that intentionality is there between us and in our marriage, and it has worked for us. Okay, so the God factor first. The next thing we do is to set time aside for our marriage. We talked about that. Many career couples schedule everything else other than time with each other. Quite a lot of people forget to create time. I've heard quite a number of senior people, Mrs. Ibukwa Oshika, for example, will talk about how busy the past chairman of First Bank, she'll talk about how busy she is, but yet she creates time for a holiday with her husband every year. We also do the same. We have a getaway, a time where we create for one another. Again, we're intentional about it. You don't have to, like I've said on this show before, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to travel out of the country. You can just go to a hotel nearby. You can go, out of town. Someone even suggested, I was at a marriage a forum one day, and the lady said, we can even go to our hometown, which is true. You can go to, my husband is from Ibadan. We can travel to Ibadan, drive to Ibadan, and spend the weekend in Ibadan, just the two of us. That is time together. No phones, no kids, no nothing. So, be intentional about that. Couples that don't do this assume that they will spend whatever time they have left over, that's leftover time, and spend it with each other, with one another. No, there's rarely any time left. Unfortunately, there's rarely any time left over. So, they end up not spending time together. To avoid this, you need to create time for your marriage. You should never be too busy to show love to your spouse, your children, every opportunity. Go on romantic dates, just do this thing. Make good use of your weekends, the holidays, isn't it, Shola? Let's talk about the time that we spend, together bonding. I know that we both really look forward to it, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I mean, I like Dubai. She knows,
My husband can spend the weekend in Dubai, every weekend in
Dubai. I just love Dubai, but we what we've done really is, I think for the past maybe close to 2 years now, I think.
2-3 years.
2-3 years. I can't remember from the top of my head. But, we've created a day. I know she said she won't mention it, but I'll let you guys in on I shouldn't let them in on the back. I should keep it.
How can you do that?
I was gonna let it out.
Don't tell our secret on it.
But anyway, we created a day, that we just,
love up.
We just love up, and it really helps. We always look forward to it. Just pick a day. It doesn't have to be any day. Just pick a day and make sure you're consistent. It's that day. You just both look forward to that particular day.
A day or two.
Yeah, and it works for us.
Yeah, and so this is part of being intentional, isn't it, Shola?
You have to be intentional about it. So there's no excuse. You have to drop whatever it is on that particular day. That's your date basically. It's like you meeting your spouse for the very first time. You go on a date. You take her out for dinner. You do all sorts of things. We also go out for we go out. We can go out for dinner, go out for lunch. We do that. Aside of this particular day that I'm talking about, all right. So we do many things.
Exactly.
And we also, like you said, we also have a time that we fly out and go and enjoy ourselves. Like I said, I love Dubai. Give me a ticket to Dubai every weekend. Trust me, I'll be there. But it's always good to have that time together. Just take time out of your busy schedules, your businesses, your careers, and just take time out and spend time with your family. Is very, very important. You
intentional.
You have to be
intentional about it.
Yeah.
So, talking about the day that we set aside for ourselves, sometimes we miss it, isn't it? Because someone will be wondering, what if something does happen, and we do play catch up.
Yeah.
I forgot to even gist you. I went for a counseling session in a particular church. I don't know if I told you this particular side. And when I talked about this day that you and I set aside, there's this guy that not necessarily challenged me, just said, he doesn't think that, whether sex or time together should be planned like that. That it just feels that it should just happen. So say, for example, maybe your sex days or whatever should just happen. And exactly what I said here. If you do not plan that time together, there would rarely be any time left. There will rarely be any leftover time that you think that such things should be spontaneous. In a world that is so busy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think I forgot. I'm not sure I mentioned. Did I mention that to you?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Yeah, the guy said, and I said, well, that works for us. It's worked for us over the years, or when we both decided that we were drifting. Because, hey, there will be a time in your marriage, isn't it, that you'll be drifting, unknown to you. So I was the one that picked, and I said, Shola, we are drifting. You're busy. I am busy. We are drifting. And this is not the plan. It's dangerous. Because, before you know it, he'll be married to his career. I'll be married to my career. And God forbid you allow the devil or the enemy and, things go haywire. So immediately someone has to pick it. The wife or the husband pick it and say, babes, we are drifting. Let's come back and do something about it. So the question is, should she stop her career, or should he stop his career? The answer is no. You both then come together and create that time with your intentionality in mind, okay, for one another. So that's that. Then the next thing that we do is we try to separate work from our family. Ideally, like we've been talking about, it got to that time where we realized that we needed to separate the work and the family. So we understood and came to terms with the fact that the work should not intrude on our time with our family, and vice versa. Okay, if we allow the family to intrude on our time at work, or and the other way, then it will mean that we're going to get less work done, and then you have to be bringing the work home all the time, and and all of those things. So then we discovered that the easiest way to achieve work-life balance is to have clear boundaries between work and family. And then we try to remember not to bring the work stress home. Even if you bring stress home, you are there, my husband is there. If I go home now and I'm just complaining, oh, look at what happened at work, oh, my boss did this and this and this happened, you just go and have someone there to talk to. At least at that point, I know that I'm there. It's there for me to ease off the stress. So, how have you handled the times when I come back stressed, and maybe I'm complaining about Remy, my PE, since she's there. Look at what she has done today. And you said that I'm so stressed.
No, you see, one of the things that, advice is just that you should leave, let work stay at work. When you get home, just drop it,
actually,
basically,
and I try to do that.
Yeah. So, she's been doing that. So don't bring workload home, just leave it at work. When you get home, just relax and wait for the next day. So that it also boils down to creating time. There's time for everything, so there's time for work, there's time for family, there's time to play. So when you're at work, just make sure you shut down at work, and then when you get home, and
shut down at home.
Exactly. So we talk about those things, I just encourage her, if she, they could do it in a better way if they knew how, just be soft in the way you talk to them, and she's been getting by.
And we're so supportive of one another. I know the times when I have to come back home late and my husband has to come back home late, we're both there, or at those different times we're awake.
Yeah.
So on a Thursday like this, for example, if he wasn't with me in the studio, I probably would get home, like I said, at 10:30. And he'll be there waiting for me, even though he's probably half asleep. And then he goes, I start to feel sleepy at 10 o'clock.
Because I have to wake up early.
To join the conversation, City 1051 FM, to join the conversation on career and marriage, the discussion tonight is between Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Call the number 070010511051, 070010511051. Perhaps you have a similar story to share between how yourself and your spouse, your husband, your wife, have balanced your work and life, if you've managed your career and your marriage without any problems whatsoever. The phone lines are buzzed. I was going to finish the conversation. Okay, let's just take this first caller. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Okay, we lost the caller there. All right, caller, please call again. So what was I talking about now? Yeah, oh, okay, the phone line. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening. This
Yes.
is Julius here calling.
This
from
is who?
Adedoja. Julius.
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 Yes.
Julius.
Yes.
Oh,
Julius,
okay,
yes.
I didn't hear well. Julius. Hi, Julius.
Yes. Hi. It's so wonderful. I set an alarm to just listen to your program.
Oh, thank you.
This is really good. I'm really happy about how your family has been able to like cope with work and family at the same time. But I have this question, please. I work in Lagos, and my wife has a federal work job in Enugu. So she's pregnant at the moment. So I have to and work started at the office in Lagos. So I had to move from Enugu to Lagos again because we work remotely, and then sometimes they call us back to work at the office. So basically, I moved to Lagos, and then it's been quite tough for us. This is our first marriage, by the way. This is our first year in the marriage. Sorry, our first year in the marriage. So it's quite tough for us to handle. She's saying she wants a nanny. I'm of the opinion that she is not the first pregnant woman alive. I mean, she's able to take care through. I'm there also to help her emotionally and support her since we have technology and we can be able to connect each other from different parts of the nation. So it's quite troublesome for me in this time. Most times at work I'm quite down, and also I really wish you can speak on a solution as I end the call. And thank you so much for your time.
Okay, Julius, before you go, are you there?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so what's the question? Is it that she wants a nanny or the fact that you're both apart?
The question is, how do I handle the fact that she needs a nanny, and I have principles about having a nanny. I feel, on the other hand, that there are more disadvantages about having a nanny or having a girl. Should probably bring a girl from the village, definitely. So, I mean, I'm of the opinion that she can handle it. I know her strength. She's strong enough to handle it, but on her own side, she feels that she needs someone in the house to do everything for her. I feel she's not the only person who has been pregnant. Pregnancy is in nature, is part of life and everything. But I'm there.
You've never been pregnant before, though. You have never been pregnant before, Julius. Does she stay alone in Port Harcourt?
Sorry?
Does she stay alone in Port Harcourt?
Enugu.
Is it Port Harcourt or Enugu? Oh, Enugu. Okay.
She stays. Yeah, she has her old mother there with her. My mother-in-law is there with her. She's quite old. She can't do anything.
Okay.
But she has family basically in Enugu. She has about 5 aunties with cousins that come over once in a while without my permission, with my permission. So, I mean, everything is like that for her. So I need help here because it's our first year and I don't want to get things wrong.
Okay. Thank you so much for your call, Julius. Okay, so I will tell you from my own perspective, and my husband will say is as well. Luckily or gladly, you are a guy, so you'll hear from a guy. For me, I think that there's no big deal in getting a nanny and allowing her to get a nanny. If you say that she's not the first woman to get pregnant, that sounds somewhat insensitive, if you ask me, because, she's the one that is going through the issue or the pregnancy, and so she knows her capabilities, she knows her weaknesses, she knows how she's feeling, and believe me, trust me 100%, pregnancy can be very, very extremely tiring. Women handle pregnancies differently. Someone might be very strong from start to finish. Another might be really tired and weak. So I think in order to secure the baby and your wife, let her get that nanny that she so desires. What you should ensure is for her to make sure that she gets the right person that will be the nanny, the companion to her. But please, by all means, it's not a big deal. It's fine. You're going to be happy when you know that she has someone that is helping her out do one or two things in the house. At least you said your mother-in-law is quite old. So please, it's not a big deal at all if she gets a nanny. A nanny is actually very, very needed at this time that she's pregnant. What do you think, Shola?
Yes, just to add, Julius, I know you said her capabilities, that she's quite capable. But, with the pregnancy, it's not the same, so she needs assistance. And I also can infer from your conversation that your work schedule is quite loaded. So I'll also advise that you also double back to Enugu every weekend, even if you're in Lagos Monday to Friday.
True.
So at least you spend your weekend with her at home, and then also try and get a nanny, because with the pregnancy she's not the same. She hasn't got the same strength as someone who's not pregnant. But now that she's pregnant, she believes that she needs somebody, and like my wife said, you need to be sensitive to what she's saying. All right. So that's my take on that, Julius.
Okay, Julius, I hope that we've managed to answer your question. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening. This is Michael from Ipaja.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I actually just want to contribute regarding what the last caller said.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, we lost Michael there. Sorry, Michael. Excuse me, beg your pardon. We lost you there. Number to call is 070010511051. And WhatsApp number is 0909916443. Please call us or send us a WhatsApp to join the conversation. It's actually quite interesting. I feel for them. What do you think? That's Julius. He sounds a bit worried, concerned, but the nanny issue is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
I think you should just allow her, and that's it. Okay, all right. So, okay, phone lines buzzing. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, man. This is Martin from the line from Ipaja.
Hello, Martin. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to suggest to the first caller. It sounds a little bit like he's just taking the pregnancy for granted. For him, he's just new person in the game, and with the success of for the wife not being the first person to get pregnant, shows already that she has not really put much regard. So I want to advise that she should put more love and look away from this little bit of she's not the only one. That mindset alone, there is a mindset there that can destroy the whole thing. So I just want that she should look more into being help to the wife. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin. I'm sure Julius has heard that. On Julius's part too, I think it just has his own reservations about the nanny issue, not because it doesn't care, but just, reservations. But so we need to allay his fears that don't worry, allow your wife to go ahead. We're voting for her, yay. Allow her to go ahead and get the nanny, and you'll be a happy man, you have a happy woman, and everything is happy in the house. Okay. All right. So the next thing we will talk about is you can work together at home. Okay, now maybe we should buttress this point as well. When we, keeping a home is a full-time job on its own. It is a full-time job. So you need all the support system that you can get in your house. When you add one or two full-time careers and a child or two, you have, there's so much, you're going to get very, very overwhelmed very quickly. You can learn to work together as a family, and have your strong support. And this is where maybe this will relate to Julius. I told you at the beginning of the conversation, initially, we used to have 3 nannies, 2 nannies and 1 cook. Because we have 3 children, 3 boys. So the cook will do the cooking and the nannies will look after the children. So when they were growing older and we realized that, okay, we had too many people to cater for in the family, then we reduced the number of the support system to to two. And my mom is always, well, most of the time with me or with us in the house. So that support system is extremely necessary. There's so much the woman can do, especially when she combines it with a very busy job and a career. Shola, what do you think about the support system? Have you always had your reservations about the nannies or the cooks, apart from their bad behavior? But, them living with us, have you always had your reservations about them?
I mean, you know me. I mean, I don't really get involved in the nannies side of things. But as long as they're getting their work done, I'm cool. But I watch them from behind, and see what they're doing, and then in whatever I observe, I'll let you know. So I don't really have an issue with nannies. I mean, they're there to help, and you're sort of and you're an employer of labor, so you're helping the society to at least enable someone to put food on the table for their family. So I don't really see an issue in in having nannies to help with your chores and what have you. But the only thing is you have to you have to set the ground rules for them so that they don't fall out of line. So I think the best thing with nannies is from the get-go, give them their job description, let them understand that these are the do's, these are the don'ts. So at least that way they can align and then everybody's happy. Otherwise you'll have problems. But I mean, we've gone through series of nannies in and out.
Barracks, as I call them. Soldier go, soldier come.
But from each one, from you go from A to B, you just begin to learn that the next one that comes, you do things differently. But by and large, I don't really have any problems with that.
And I think to add here, Shola, you're not fussy about food. No, yes. What I mean by that is you like food, you like your food, and you like your good food, but you're not fussy. You're not the kind of man that would insist that I cook your food. If I can cook your food because I'm around and then I will cook it. But if the cook gets your food done properly the way I have trained the cook to do the cooking, then you're okay with it. Because cool. It's good to also mention this has worked again for us. So we're only telling you our own experience. Some men, if you still prefer that is your wife that does the cooking, then fine, that's what you like. We're just saying that, in trying to be intentional about this whole thing, you have to make, which is the last point, make sacrifices for one another. So if you know that she has a busy career, she's pursuing her career, she's also bringing money home, then you want to sort of understand and try and soft pedal on the things that you like and you want, in the area of cooking, for example. Sometimes I have a friend who I went to her house, I think a few weeks ago, and her husband was just joking me. I said, "Oh, you're the radio woman. I want to report my wife. I don't know. I'm sure I told you when I got back home. I want to report my wife to you." And I said, "What did she do?" She said, "He went. She doesn't have my time. Or when it comes to the bedroom, she doesn't have my time. Let me report her to you." And I'm like, "Really? What happened? Why don't you have this time?" So when we got together, she said to me, "I'm the nanny, I'm the cook, I'm the wife, I'm the this, I'm everything." Just like Julius said, he doesn't want her to have two nannies. She has one nanny. And so she's asking for a second nanny. They have two children, a boy and a girl, and they're very young. And you know how young toddlers are quite demanding. And so she said, "Honestly, I know I don't do anything in the bedroom. I'm just too tired when I get into the bed." So that's a downside of when you allow your wife to do everything. So I can imagine if I'm the one doing everything. The bed part will suffer now. The bedroom will suffer. You too, you know that. Because I will always tell you that I'm tired. And there's nothing that you will do. You just have to understand.
I really find that quite insensitive, though. If you know your wife has a very, very busy schedule at work. Let's say, for example, your wife comes home at 10 o'clock at night. My wife comes home at 10 o'clock at night, and I expect her to come and cook. I mean, that's really not nice, to be honest.
Thank you, darling.
It's not nice.
Okay.
And that's being real. I mean, I'm not saying this on air because I'm being real.
Okay. So we have some comments on Instagram, our live feed on Instagram. Ade Peggy, that's my friend. Mary, yeah. She said you must be intentional about creating time to spend together. Time together helps build your communication. Of course, she's another lover girl. I hope she can hear me. She loves her husband and they love to travel as well. They do create time together. Yes. La Fibs, hey, Fibs, I love it. You are both intentional about ensuring you spend time together. Yeah. Then Adepegi said again, scheduling time together is a very good way to maintain your intimacy. Thanks, Mr. Shola. Having both husband and wife perspective is valuable to the callers. Oh, all right. Thank you. We're glad that we are blessing people, or we are informing people on how to handle career and marriage. So the final point here before we talk about other things is when you both make sacrifices, like I talked about. When you and your spouse are both passionate about fulfilling your dreams, they can collide and cause a major chaos in what could or should be a happy marriage. So be sure to work together to negotiate a shared vision in your relationship. As much as possible, help one another achieve your goals and dreams. Just, be there. Sacrifice. Show that your support is unconditional towards their work. Because without that support, lack of understanding and resentment can breed in your partner, can breed inside of your partner, and then it makes it difficult to act as a couple. Communication is also very, very key. We've talked about communication on this show before. Is another thing that is very key. I have a story about a guy whose name is Joe. Joe has been married for 4 years. It's pretty clear that in order for him to advance in his profession, he's going to have to work 60 hours a week for the foreseeable future. That's the minimum, 60 hours a week. So Joe recently discovered that the pension plan is only for partners in his office, okay? And that if he doesn't become a partner in the firm, then he considers himself a failure. So as Joe says, there are no lifeboats for those who don't make it to the top. I'd have to start over somewhere else. I'm doing this for my family, he said, for my wife, and for the children we hope to have. So we have a good financial future, okay? But want to start a family. So Joe at the moment does not have a family and he wants to start a family soon, and he's very apprehensive. He said, I'm apprehensive. We don't have enough time for each other as it is. Do you understand? So currently he's working, his wife is working, and they both don't have time. I beg your pardon, they don't have time for each other as it is. So, and now they are thinking about having children. So, of course, they'll be both apprehensive. So, he says he wants to be a good husband, of course. And he also wants to succeed at work. What should Joe do? Shola, what should he do?
Joe. You have a lot of work to do.
Right.
A lot of work to do.
Right.
You have to be committed. Let me tell you about my own self, what I do. Maybe that will help you. I love my children. And I ensure that I do everything that they need to ensure that they, what's the word I'm looking for now? To ensure that they succeed. I'm always there for them. The way I'm there for my wife, I'm also there for my children. So, I think family is, for me, is more important than even your career. I'm not saying that you should drop your career, but you see, the family, the home front is very, very important, because at the end of the day, if anything happens at work, it's the family that you run to, so home front is quite dear to my heart. People that know me, I'm a very, very homely person. I love to be at home.
Yes. My husband doesn't keep late nights. So.
I love to be at home. I'm a homely person. You want to find me? I'm at home.
Lucky wife. Chai.
So, just to help Joe, what was the question again? I'm trying to.
Yeah, so
I don't lose my
Joe.
line of thoughts.
Yeah, so Joe has a very good career,
Yep.
and they don't have kids.
Okay.
And as it were, they are very busy. And so now they're contemplating having children and is so apprehensive about it.
Wow. So husband and wife are very, very busy.
Yeah. So he's asking, what should he do? What should he do? You go ahead and have the kids.
Wow.
Because
I guess for first and foremost, they both have to sit down and have a talk about this before they start having children. And then there has to be a balance. Obviously, the wife will have to slow down on her career.
Right.
Because she wants to have children, maybe for that period, and then and then probably get back into the swing of things once she goes through, the maternity and the birth and all that. But is this something they both have to sit down and talk about
and work out?
And work it out.
Yeah, but I think I would add that it's very important to remember that when you give up everything for work, Joe contemplated, should he give up work? There's no guarantee of success.
Exactly.
It's like selling your soul to the devil, and the devil may still downsize you. So it's better to work to balance your life now. Then if work lets you down, then you are still left with a solid base of love and support. Yeah. That's what I would say. Yeah. Okay. All right. City 1051 FM, your number one lifestyle station. You're tuning to Talk to Me with myself, Adedoja Allen, and I have a very special guest with me tonight, my husband, Mr. Akinsola Allen. Our topic tonight is career and marriage. We are trying to let you into our lives and how we've balanced our marriage, how we have not allowed it to affect how we have not allowed our careers to affect our marriage. Okay? All right. So I have a WhatsApp message here. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Hearing your success story, I'm really motivated. Thanks for sharing your story. I'm keen to my radio. I'm married, and trust me, I'm learning real good from you both. As for Mr. Julius, just like Mr. Shola said, he should be heading to Enugu to spend the weekend with his wife to give her support now that she's pregnant. Inspirational show. God bless you both. Adedoja, Dean Inaji. Thank you, Dean Inaji. God bless you too. God bless you. All right. So the number to call again is 07001051. We're talking about our own, that's Shola and Doja Allen, Mr. and Mrs. Allen's intentionality in keeping our marriage and our careers at the same time without allowing one to affect another. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir. Your name? Yes.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Can you hear me? Oh, wow. I lost the caller there. I have another one here. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
What's going on?
Hello?
Yes, I'm actually screaming. Hello? Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, another call. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Martin calling back.
Oh, hi, Martins. Okay.
I want to ask a question, please. Sorry, would you have achieved much if, as a couple, if there was no financial balance between both of you, both you and your husband, in this aspect?
Okay, Martins. Okay, thank you, Martins. Okay, now I think we must let you know that we haven't always been this financially balanced, isn't it, Shola?
Yeah.
So if we tell you
we're coming from somewhere.
so let me tell them very quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so at the beginning of the show, so that you know that everything sometimes is not about being financially balanced. Sometimes you have rocky finances. We've had very rocky finances. So when we relocated back from the UK to Nigeria, my husband said he's doing his own thing, so he's an entrepreneur. So he decided that he's not going to work, that I should work. And so, when we're coming to Nigeria, everybody was advising us, yeah, what do you want to do? Okay, all right, you work, you get a job, you Doja get a job, and then you Shola, okay, you want to be an entrepreneur? Okay, fine. And we remember a particular, one of our mentors was saying to us that between 12 and 18 months, isn't it? You guys will have your breakthrough. And we're like, oh, okay, that's fine. So we came back. I started working in an investment company, and Shola started his real estate, continued from the UK, thinking when he came to, he was thinking, it was like, it's going to be ronky donkey in the way it was in the UK, it'll be like that in Nigeria. And hey, I was working and I was earning the salary, and he was just trying to settle into his own business. And so it was very, very, very rocky. We had great challenges, but hey, we made it work. Okay, Shola, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't ronky dory from the beginning.
Ronky-dory, yeah.
It wasn't at all. We didn't have a soft landing.
At all.
Some people get soft landings
Yeah.
when they relocate. We
Yeah.
never had a soft landing. It was tough, but we went through that toughness. We persevered. And God saw us through.
Yeah.
Sometimes in life, you just have to go through that phase.
Yeah.
It's all a phase.
Yeah.
There's a saying that the rich also cry. Everybody thinks that because everybody is driving a G-Wagon or they live in big houses, they don't have issues or challenges. They don't. They all have.
Yeah.
It's a phase. It's a cycle. So don't think that because you're going through a phase or a challenge right now, the next person down the road or down the street is not going through the same. They have it's different challenges.
Yeah.
So yeah, for us it wasn't that easy when we relocated.
Yeah.
It's the grace of God that we're here. We
Exactly.
are where we are today.
Exactly.
It's not like
Exactly.
we
It's not
we
like it's
started,
always been like this.
No. It's a phase that phased out.
So we worked it.
And we worked it out.
We worked it out, yes. Okay, quite a number of people are getting blessed by this show. I'm excited about that. We have another WhatsApp message. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Thanks for sharing your wealth of experience in managing career and family life. I really wish my wife was listening to this episode because of the intrigues interplaying in the daily running of the family without affecting our careers. I've tried talking with her for a support system to be put in place, but she's refused. She's refused that, but will always complain of tiredness. She'd been spoiled with my younger ones living with us from when we got married, but over time they've grown up and they have to begin their families. But my wife's resentment of house helps will not allow her to access any. So I pray God helps me explain this support system so my bedroom doesn't suffer, because we have 3 kids, 11, 9, and 5, 2 boys and a girl, Abby. Oh, okay, I understand. Well, I think the support system, this also demonstrates that the support system is extremely, extremely important in a home, especially where both of you have your careers. You have your busy careers in this Lagos, in this Nigeria, where even with the economy, I think a husband and a wife should both have income, if possible, whilst they're pursuing it. So the number to call again is 07001051 and you're tuning into City 1051 FM. We are your number one lifestyle station. Talk to me with Adedoja Allen, and we're talking about career and marriage. Mr. and Mrs. Allen in the studio. Ife Buche, I don't know. Well, someone on Instagram says, I've learned a lot tonight. Communication is very important. Yes, we cannot overemphasize communication in a marriage. I think personally, I've seen, let me pick this. Let me take the call. Okay, it's gone now. Okay, all right, sorry. Okay. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? This might be Good evening, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Ibrahim calling from Bucknell.
I'm sorry, what's your name? Speak louder.
Ibrahim calling from Bucknell.
I didn't hear that.
My name is Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
Yes, I'm calling from Bucknell.
Okay. All right, Ibrahim, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you for this show. It's a very good show and a motivating one.
Okay, thank you.
Also, share with us how you manage your odd times, as in the quarrel and the likes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ibrahim. Ibrahim said that we should talk about how we manage our quarrels. I wish we had more time to talk about this, but very quickly, because we have to wrap up the show in 4 minutes. Okay, so I think the quarrel bit is similar to how we evolved in the finances. At the beginning of the marriage, we're at 17 years this year. So at the start of the marriage, typical teething period of any marriage, we used to quarrel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we outgrew it.
Yeah. I think one of the things he also wants to hear, if I can, relate, is he really wants to know how we overcome
Oh, yeah, tell him.
arguments. I mean, in our relationship,
Yeah.
I mean, when we have arguments, I feel bad. She knows. I mean, I can't even sleep. So basically, we must get over it that night before we go to bed. Otherwise, I just don't feel. There's just something not right. I feel uneasy. That come on, you need to sort this thing out.
Yeah.
And
we talked about Ibrahim. We talked about being intentional about this.
Yeah.
So we're very intentional. And at the beginning of the show, we also talked about putting God first. So we know that, these things, it's, I don't know, if you're intentional, then your antenna is quite, up there.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that when you sleep on arguments or quarrels, then it just begins to affect your closeness, your relationship, your everything, your bond, everything. So you are conscious, what is the quarrel? What is it? What is the big deal? Someone should just, give in to the other and just let peace reign. So we're very intentional about allowing peace. To be honest, I cannot remember when last we had a quarrel, isn't it? And it's not like we do not do things that we don't like, but we just keep it moving, and we're just very gentle about it, and we express it in a loving manner. Mm-hmm. I didn't like what you did. You didn't do it like this, and all that, and then we keep it moving. Okay, anyway, and then we move on. So again, we've worked at it in the course of the years. It didn't start yesterday or day before yesterday, but like I would always emphasize, it is intentional and deliberate. We have to bring the show to a wrap. Oh, wow.
Can we continue?
Anyway, so let me just give my own parting words, and then my husband will give his own parting words, and we wrap up the show. So I think that couples must work these things out for themselves, not by themselves. Go to men and women that you admire who have achieved balance in their lives between family and work, and ask them to tell you about the choices they made and the challenges they faced. Perhaps even the mistakes that they made. Just go and ask. Then in prayer, ask the Lord to guide you as you make your own decisions and your choices. Shola, this is my advice to couples.
I think my parting words will be, for me, in our marriage, we don't report ourselves to anybody. If you have an argument,
thank you,
we don't go to anybody to
sure,
say, somebody come and see what Doja has done, or come and see what Shola. We don't do it.
Yeah.
So there's no third party
right
in our relationship.
Correct.
It's just me, my wife, and my children.
Right.
There's no third party. So if we have an argument or whatever, we deal with it.
We don't even tell the children.
We don't even tell them.
We don't tell them.
I mean, I don't even know whether they know that we even
exactly. And that's another part that is hidden to our kids.
Yeah,
they never see us. They've never seen us.
Seen it.
Never. So, like we said, we're intentional about these things. We know the kind of family values and system that we want to build, and we are doing it with every sense of intentionality. All right, so we have to bring the show to a close, a wrap. Oh, wow. It's been awesome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Keep it locked down on City 1051 FM for more music. Don't touch that dial. Good night and God bless you. See you again next week, Thursday, 8:30 on the same station.
Talk to me with Adedoja Allen.
Remember, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety.